And we're live. Okay. So today I'm gonna do this. Since tonight actually the Atlanta United they actually play their first game tonight. You know what I mean? They are going to play their first game tonight against the New York Red Bulls. So I guess not really like a pregame, just a sports talk in general. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to call it a pregame, you can call it a pregame. And so, yeah, basically, we are gonna wait. And this really, I don't want to call this a pregame because honestly, I don't watch soccer that much unless the United is playing. But I guess because now I'm not gonna be broadcasting the game. If you want to do that, you might want to go watch Salida Sports Live in the ATL. Gave him a shout out the other day. You might want to go watch his channel if you want to watch that. But this is not really about just Atlanta United. You can come on in here, you can cuss, you can just say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care what you honestly say. Keep it sports. We're gonna see if anyone is gonna come. I know because yesterday we actually tested the waters with this and it went pretty good. So I mean, yeah, waters were tested and it went pretty good. I mean, yeah, kind of, you know, wait, testing the waters and see how this is gonna go. So I mean, sports. Obviously, not a whole lot going on right now in sports, but still some stuff going on in sports. You know how that goes, really. So that's the StreamYard link. I might play some Madden in a minute, honestly. If y'all would be interested in seeing that. What? Yeah, why not? So I mean, yeah, just trying to test the waters. With this, I could definitely say this, however, when football season starts, which I mean, there are people, coming over like NFL won't happen, NFL isn't gonna happen. Okay, you can think what you want, and okay, maybe you're keeping your guard up, but I'm confident NFL will happen. I am 99.9% confident NFL is gonna happen. You know, I mean, look, there are some people that like to, and people saying we need a break, maybe we need a year off from football. Football is only a total of 5 months. People saying that there's only really that only we don't need football. That's basically. Yeah. Oh, this will indeed. What's going on? The Chaos Films. If you want to come on in, then I mean you can. If you want to come in, or I mean, come in and you can experience how awful I am at Madden. So I mean, yeah, I might play a different team, honestly. Never played as the Giants. Never played as the Jaguars. Definitely not. A 67 offense. What type of? Oh, all right. 67 off. I mean, I'll play as the fucking Vikings. That's why the fuck not. So I'll probably do this for like a fucking hour. So yeah, we are about to see how bad I suck at Madden. Well, I mean, maybe with a good offense like this, maybe I won't suck ass. I don't know. And Madden still won't. Oh, well, here we go. Okay. And I'm visiting the place that we own. And I will certainly be glad to take this. Hold on. All right. Okay. This thing is fucking glitching and shit. Yeah. Here we go. Second down. Okay, we're about to. What the fuck? Madden hates me, and y'all don't understand how much Madden actually hates me. I guess I'll full screen out of this. Oh shit! Yeah. Well, shit. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. And DJ Moore is like a fucking fast as fucking Michael Thomas, and those two are just so slow. Oh. Oh, yeah. Completes it to Minneapolis Miracle Man himself. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Nah. No, I'm not. Yeah. Spin, I'm sorry, but I want to play and see what I can do. Oh my god. Fuck you, madam. This client's gonna fucking ticket clown. Yeah, he's a fucking queer. Fuck you, Madden. Madden is just a fucking. They annoy me. Man, I fucking should have picked that shit. No, I'm good. Boom. Yeah. Leads into Minneapolis Miracle Man of the Town. What the fuck? Oh. Ha 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 ha. I mean, if Wyatt wants to play with me, I've never played against him. I mean, I don't got nothing against you. It's just we've played so many, countless number of times. So, I mean, that. Mm-hmm. Oh, damn. Great ass fourth down conversion. Oh, yeah. Great ass conversion. Huh. Took the fucking lead. Now, fucking just kicking the right out of the fucker. Okay. What's up, UGA boy?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing much. I'm just playing Madden. But anyways, so how do you feel about the United returning tonight?
Be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Yes, it will. I think that honestly they can maybe win it again. And see, the thing is, I know they win it. People are going to talk about, Astrid, wasn't a normal season. Okay, but they've already won one. They've had a great first 3 years in the in soccer. So I mean, why shouldn't we believe that they're not going to win it again?
Yeah, I mean, they got a good chance. Like I said, we'll see how it all pans out. With sports coming back and everybody, just living the new norm, I guess you can say, and that's what I'm more interested in.
Until they get this vaccine. Well, I mean, until they get the vaccine, of course. But I mean, the thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is, I just wish that people would just, they do what they need to do so that we can go back to normal.
Right, and you got to start somewhere, in my opinion. I mean, even if it's, let's just say, for example, even if they try it tonight, and let's just say, hypothetically speaking, a week later, it doesn't work, or 2 months, or whatever, we've got to try a way to get back, like you said, until they get vaccine or whatever.
For this, from what they're saying, a vaccine. I think a vaccine, best case scenario, by November, but that's really pushing it. I think an approximate time for a vaccine, March 2021. But heck, we may never get a vaccine.
I pray it ain't past the end of 2020. I'm ready for a vaccine. I'm ready for at least go back to the old norm, I guess you could say. I'm sick of it, man.
I mean, now the only concern with the vaccine, I would go get it, but I would probably wait like a month to see the result because, you don't know. They may say there's a vaccine, but then after people get it, it kills them. So, I mean,
Or it just doesn't work like that first medicine they thought that was helping people, or it did at first, supposedly, and then, now it's not helping at all. So now they go to, I can't remember what that R word is, that other medicine. So anyway, that's my point, is that they're going to try new things. Medicine may work, then again, it may not work. And then again, it just may not work at all. So we'll see.
And I'm just ready for. I mean, I'm just ready for football. I mean, I'm glad sports is returning, but if we at least NFL, if we can have that, then I mean, I'm happy. But they got to test this out. But I mean, there are people saying NFL season may not happen. I mean, if they're gonna do the NBA and MLB and soccer, that those are in a way contact sports, not as much as football. But if they're gonna do those, then they should do the NFL at least. College, I don't know, because you got to remember they may not even be in class.
Yeah, and I mean that's what people, I'm just going to be honest with you. Even if Georgia, we'll just say college football starts, right? And let's just say Georgia's first game is at Alabama. So no matter what the results is, we already have a very, very bad disadvantage to a really good Alabama team, that's under Nick Saban. Why? Because our quarterback, Jamie Newman's never played under UGA. You can't sit here and tell me that he doesn't know the playbook.
It benefits me, but I mean, the thing that could, and I mean, yes, obviously I'm an Alabama fan, and I do think that they can beat Georgia, but I mean, there's also a disadvantage. There are people that, and this is the only concern with getting these new free agents that the Falcons got, Gurley and Dante Fowler. How are they gonna do with this whole thing going on?
Right, and they don't know they really don't know the playbook. I mean, it's really hard. You know what I mean? It's people can, be like, oh, they're going to play football. But you got to realize, does these kids or these adults that play NFL, do they even know the playbook? Look at Cam Newton. He's a one-year contract over at the Patriots, but with everything going on, I mean, he may not know squat about the Patriots playbook with Bill Belichick.
Well, I mean, this is the thing I was thinking. They might be able to come up with a playbook for him, but overall, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's the Cam Newton he was before his injury.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you this: if he doesn't really show out and he's not the Cam Newton like he was and stuff like that, this will probably sadly be his last year. He could bounce around to another NFL team, but
it'll be as a veteran role. It'll be kind of like how Mike Vick did at the end of his career. He'll just, he'll be a veteran, presence. He may start a game, but I think that this is Cam's real last shot, and I don't right now see him doing good. But I mean, the thing with the NFL, I do think it'll happen. I think we'll have a football season. The question is color. And the real thing with having a NFL season, I think it'll happen and all. My only concern is, what do you do when a player tests positive and they get it and then they play? Like, say they, get the virus a day right before a game, and then basically they go out and they're touching all these other players.
Well, see, that's my whole thing is if a player test is positive, okay, yeah, they'll go through the 14-day quarantine, all this stuff. But what happens if another player gets it? That's the worst thing that could happen. And that's what I fear. It's like, I think we could play football, especially the NFL, but what if, it's that what if, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then our season's completely screwed because I believe then I think they would try to shut down football.
They will, at least for 2 weeks. And heck, we saw I think that what they should have done is, when the NBA and all that shut down. And this whole country went into the first phase of this shutdown in March, mid-March. I think what they should have done then is they should have put everyone immediately under a 14-day quarantine, and maybe some stuff would be different now. But instead, you have idiots going out not caring about this virus.
Right. Are you friends with any Texas, like Houston fans, like in baseball, or any fan that's in Texas, like you know what I mean? Like, are you? Because
No.
the only reason why I bring that up is because supposedly Texas has got it really bad. I want to hear from some Arizona Cardinal fans besides BVD. What's their take on it? Because apparently Arizona and Texas is pretty bad right now.
And apparently Arizona's now back under shutdown, basically, and you can't have gatherings of over 50 people for 30 days. And that, what about the Cardinals training camp is the question. If one can't do it, can any do it? Maybe they might go to a different state and do it, like a Montana or a Wyoming, where there's probably a lot of space. You find a field there and do it. But what happens?
Yeah. There's a lot of question marks for sure. And I think, they're going to play football. They're going to get things back going, and they're just going to ride and hope for the best.
Well, they'll at least try to play NFL. The question is, will they be able to finish it with no issues? You were thinking maybe at least testing would be more easy to get. Like, it'd basically be like you could get a box of tests. They would at least try to develop more ways to get tests where it's like a box of tests where you could before go somewhere, you take a virus test, and then when you get back you get a test for the virus. Instead, what they've done is we don't have any to that. So until there's a vaccine, which I'd say maybe February of next year is probably a good estimate for a vaccine. I want a fucking vaccine that works right now.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to bring up two things that you were just talking about. First of all, not trying to make it political, but according to Donald Trump, we're testing too much. And number two, Jimmy Johnson, I know a lot of you guys don't watch NASCAR, maybe you do, but Jimmy Johnson, he was tested for COVID-19 that drives the 48, but he was also tested 2 other times, and they both came back negative, and now he's racing tomorrow. And he was only out for a week. So going back to, can they test each other, multiple times? Maybe that's just the way to go. Maybe that's what's going to happen when a player gets tested positive.
Well, I'm not giving my thoughts on the political stuff. That's not what my channel is about. As far as NASCAR goes, you can't be stupid about when a player tests positive, because eventually it's going to spread to one player, and then it'll spread to another player, and then it'll spread to everyone at one point. And then you do have guys who I know James Conner from the Steelers, he had cancer. So I believe is a high risk.
If it goes in that pan, it
Sorry about that. I'm back, but yeah, I see what you're saying. You bring up good points, and I'm not trying to make your stream about political. I was just bringing that one.
Well, I get it. I get it, and but that's not what I'm about. But yes, they're kind of wasting their time. They should at least, from the time being, as soon as this starts to get out of control, at least try to find ways to make testing more easy. and you don't have to wait 6 hours to get a test for the virus.
Yeah. I
And you
feel
can
like
do it
that
in
things could speed up for sure. Trying to get tests or whatever it may be. But I just, at the end of the day, I don't know. There's so unknowns. It's not even funny.
and they're now talking about basically, because it takes 24 hours at earliest to get test results back. Some places it takes up to 10 days to get test results back.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, how do you know a player has, and say an example, the player's tested and they don't have it at the time. Then right after they're tested, they get it. Then what the hell do you do?
Right. I mean, and that's the worst case that could happen, in my opinion. Because then it's like a sit and wait game. Yeah, it would be 2 weeks, at least without no football, if that does happen, baseball, whatever the case may be. So yeah, you're right.
I mean, I think NFL will happen. College, I guess you could say 50-50 on, because college, you got to consider they're also going to class, and I think that they'll be virtual come a month or two when I guess classes go back. But the bottom line is NFL will happen. It's just how will it happen, and will fans be allowed? And they're talking about making fans sound like a waiver, like, not to like sue the NFL if they get the virus at a game to go to a game.
Yeah, I heard that, and I kind of like that idea, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I know this is probably a downfall to the rookies in the NFL, but I would not be surprised at all if the virus is what it is today, or it continues to get worse. When it comes time for the the preseason, I wouldn't be surprised if they canceled that.
And look, preseason should be 2 games. It's too effing long. 1 or 2 games, but it's too effing long. I think we can agree that the preseason's kind of too fucking long for the NFL, but it would be a disadvantage for the rookies not to have 1 game where they could go up against other rookies, because then it's a disadvantage. You're throwing them straight to the Wolves week 1.
Is it this year or next year they're going to 17 games?
It's next year.
Okay. For some odd reason,
this will be our last year of 16 games.
Okay. So I got a question to ask you. If you could pick any backup to be a backup quarterback behind Matt Ryan, do you have one that if you could pick anybody, who would it be?
If free agent or someone owning?
If you could do it pull any way to get that person to the Falcons, who would it be?
So I mean, say Matt Ryan gets the virus, he has to be out for 2 weeks. That's tough. I guess I'd honestly choose Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's starting to all make, in my opinion, I think it's all starting to make sense now on why he need for the national anthem. And then it all, escalated and everything. Yeah. I mean, it's so weird because Colin Kaepernick was a really good quarterback for the 49ers. And
he was.
I don't know.
And he should have won a Super Bowl with them, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't have fired him. I don't know. I mean, that's just so crazy that they ended up, letting him go. All that escalated and everything else. But now it seems like people's understanding why he need for the national anthem now.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, once again, I'm not going to talk about that, but I think Kaepernick. If I were to choose one backup, it'd be Kaepernick. Or honestly, Kaepernick's the only one. I bet most people will probably say I choose Jameis Winston. Look, the thing with Jameis is this: he can be a good quarterback. He threw 33 touchdowns last year, but he threw 30 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he grew up close to where I'm at in Alabama, up here in Hueytown, because that's where he went to Hueytown High School. And I don't know, like he throws a lot of interceptions. He even did it in college, and then went to Florida State, and then there, all that happened, and then so on and so forth. I think another thing is that even if we did get Jameis Winston, for example, my question is he gonna start putting his big boy pants on and quit acting like an idiot?
We can't have that here with the Falcons.
And that's not. I don't think Arthur Blank. I don't think no one is willing.
After the whole Michael Vick thing, I don't think Arthur Blank would put up with anything like that.
Yeah, so I don't see him at all. If there was any possibility, unfortunately, we may have to just stick with Matt Schaub, I guess.
I mean, the thing with Matt Schaub, he threw 460 yards in the game last year. He did it against a pretty decent Seahawks team, and he only lost by 7 points. But honestly, I think the thing with Schaub is he's got one more year, and then he should become a coach for us.
I know you're going to probably think this is a crazy question I'm about to ask you, but what's the chances of anyone, and I mean any NFL team, yanking Matthew Stafford from the Detroit Lions? And I'm not saying it because I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. I hear some people say he's good. I hear a lot of people say he's bad. I don't know. Like, what's your take?
Okay, here's the thing with Matthew Stafford. The Lions have wasted him. They have just fucking wasted him. They have totally wasted that man's career. And if he was on any other teams, I'd give him a better chance on the Cleveland Browns than the Lions, at least with the roster right now. Maybe a few years ago's roster, not so much. But if Matthew Stafford was on almost any other team, say 28 other teams in the league, for his whole career, I think he would have had an MVP at least. And he probably would have won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, yes, the Lions, I think for Matthew Stafford's sake, he needs to request a trade from the Lions because all they're doing is wasting his career. And before it's too late for him to win a Super Bowl title, I think he needs to get out of there because if he does get out of there, maybe he could redeem his career and maybe because I think if you look at it, if Matthew Stafford was on any other team, he'd probably go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. So, I mean, I think they should trade Matthew Stafford. And it wouldn't be crazy if it does happen. I think maybe he stays there for this year, but then next offseason, if the Lions are still bad, which I don't expect them to do anything good, but if they're still bad, then yes, trade them because and go into a rebuild.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard people last year was saying, well, they wanted him gone and everything else. But, I'm not trying to get in his personal life. But, when you got 3 or 4 kids and maybe he's just living up the money in the contract. That's the only thing I can think of is, he's got a family. His wife battled that, that tumor. She survived it. Maybe he's just living the life of, okay, I'm a professional quarterback and maybe Detroit's just paying him too much, and he won't leave.
Well, I think that is probably honestly the case. And the thing that's very sad about Matthew Stafford is I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad that the guy had to be with such a shit show organization of the Lions his whole damn career. And God forbid, if he gets out of there and he wins a Super Bowl, I'll be so happy for him.
And he has potential. I mean, he's definitely a guaranteed backup with any team. I mean, in my opinion, he's not a starter.
Hell, forget backup. He could probably start on half the teams in the NFL. I mean, I think he has potential to be a top 10 quarterback in the league.
I mean, in the Chicago Bears, I just never liked the Bears. But for example, they fussed about Jay Cutler. And then now, they're unhappy with that Mitch Trubisky guy. If Matthew Stafford went to the Bears, I guarantee you he'd be 10 times better at the Bears than he would the Lions.
the Bears, they got a great defense. They do have receivers. They got Allen Robinson, who is very underrated, and he's been through a lot himself, having to play with guys like Blake Bortles and Mitchell Trubisky his whole career. Now, hopefully, the Bears have their new quarterback and Foles. But, if he doesn't work, they just need to go into a rebuild. Fire Nagy. I know Nagy only won Coach of the Year a few years ago, but look, it doesn't matter. It was one good season for the Bears.
So if Nick Foles doesn't work out with the Bears, would you take him as a backup for the Falcons?
I would, honestly. He won a Super Bowl, so, I'd give him one shot. But, honestly, I just don't really know what the Bears have done at the quarterback position. They've never had a good quarterback. I can't name one good quarterback that they've had probably since the 90s at least.
Right. Yeah, they were very high, like I said, on the Mitchell or Mitch Trubisky, whatever you want to call him. And but he only played 1 year at North Carolina. And, he had a decent, pretty good season. But I know college is different from the NFL.
Mahomes. They should have at least taken Deshaun Watson. And the fact that you passed on what's looking like right now could be the greatest quarterback of all time when it's said and done for a guy that might not even be in the league next year or the next 3 years is an absolute embarrassment.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that Green Bay took Jordan Love and keep all their draft picks and try to bring in Trevor Lawrence if they were going to try to replace Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying if they are going to replace Aaron Rodgers.
And the thing with that, it's dumb. Aaron Rodgers will not finish his career as a Green Bay Packer. I'd give him maybe 2 more years, 3 at the most. But then after that, he's out of there.
Yeah, and they're hoping Jordan Love is, the guy. It's so it's
Jordan
easy.
Love's kind of like he's like more than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we'll see. The last time there was a quarterback out of Nevada, however you want to call it, was Colin Kaepernick. So we'll see what Mr. Jordan Love can do.
Now, the thing that I'm trying to, really wonder, why did the Eagles pick up Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I know. There was some of those picks I just couldn't understand.
I get Foles is injured a lot, but the guy, Foles, Wentz
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, yeah. When Carson Wentz is healthy, which he was last year, and he carried that team to the playoffs.
Yep, he sure did. And like I said, I don't know why they ended up getting Jalen Hurts. There was some picks there that I was like, whoa. Because Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, if Carson Wentz, hopefully, he won't get injured, then Jalen Hurts probably won't play.
Yes, and it was a wasted pick, but it wouldn't honestly actually shock me if even he doesn't get injured. And maybe they put Jalen Hurts in on some kind of like how they used Taysom Hill.
Or maybe set him up as a wide receiver.
That's what they did, Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Do some weird stuff. I don't know. Maybe throw a trick play in there and there. They probably won't use it that much, but at least they'll do it maybe one time if they end up doing it.
Yeah, but there are a lot of questions. I think there will be an NFL season. College, I don't know. I think that there will be some type of college and NFL season, especially NFL. The question is, will there be fans? And how will it be?
Yeah, I like the idea of the waiver, like you were talking about. I think the NFL, if they can get that going, and things go like they want it to go with that. I like the idea. Yeah, the NFL will play. I mean, I feel strongly about it. College, looks like they're only going to play the 8 conference games and stuff, and they're going to try. I guess you could say there's a 50% there, but yeah, the NFL they'll get in. I feel strongly about that.
Now, yeah, I think NFL. I seriously think that NFL will play. The real question is, will there be fans? Which I wouldn't be shocked if they do 25% capacity.
Yeah, I heard that too. The 20, you can do 25 capacity. They can sign the waiver, stuff like that.
But I mean, there are a lot of questions, and the other thing is they might not let people over the age of 70 in, I heard.
Yeah, because of all the elderly seems to be getting it more.
Well, I mean, it seems to be affecting them more.
Yeah, well, the metabolism and everything else.
And
that sounds about right.
But the real thing that, and I said this before, if people would have just stayed their asses home in March when this first thing came, then guess what? We wouldn't be having the issues we had now with will the NFL happen. We wouldn't be having those issues.
Yeah, and because everybody thinks it, or they thought that it was fake and everything else, and
well, I mean,
they didn't take it seriously.
If this virus was fake, it would have been known. I mean, there are people dying from this.
Yeah.
This is, and the fact that we really gotta think for a second. How is this gonna affect? Because this has already had an effect on the NFL season. Mini camp and all that. I think that they're talking about training camp. It'll be in the facilities, but they got to wear a mask. And, here in Atlanta, they've mandated masks.
Yeah, they did down here in Alabama as well.
I don't like wearing masks. I mean, if a mask is going to keep you safe, it'll keep you safe.
Yeah, if everybody wears their mask, do what they're supposed to do, don't act stupid, then hopefully we can save football this year and other sports and stuff like that. Hopefully, it gives us a chance. You know what I mean?
And if people are already silly idiots and they don't wear masks, then look, the NFL might not happen. And look, if the NFL doesn't happen, we'll be sitting here wondering, damn, how much of idiots we were that we didn't wear a mask because now the NFL isn't happening. But I mean, if it doesn't happen, you gotta assume that these TV networks would rerun NFL games.
Right.
But just let the NFL happen. And college, I wouldn't be happy if it's canceled. I wouldn't be happy. But I mean, if the NFL can happen, it'd make me happy.
I like the idea of going to college that I think they need to just say, you know what, I know it's going to suck, but we need to just start play it at the beginning of next year. But only play your conference games. And see, another thing is, I understand they're trying to just get football in. But the thing is, even if you play your 8 conference games, okay, then, you play your 9, I guess. I'm assuming you'll have your SEC championship game and conferences. Then what happens after that? Are we just playing for a conference championship game? Are we just playing for 8 games because we just desperately want college football back? I don't understand, what will be the point of this season risking these college kids, for that matter, to get the virus.
And the real thing that just concerns me about, all this is, look, listen, people now. I mean, personally, with college, I mean, now the other question that just came up in my head: if they do this, or they do college football at the beginning of next year, what about the draft?
Right. See, that's going to be another problem. Then they'll have to try to get with the NFL, and then they'll be all screwy. So I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
And they'll just say maybe we hold the draft, a month later. Or we only do a 8-week college football season and nothing else, just for basically these juniors and seniors to get in the NFL, or maybe only the juniors and seniors will play. I don't know how they'll do this, but they or there may not be any college football. And then we're over here, they're over here looking at their sophomore or junior seasons, and that will determine how they get in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility as well. Like I said, there's a lot of questions. I think they're just desperately wanting college football back. I mean, we're wanting our sports back. We're wanting everything else, and I think that's at the end of the day. I know the SEC is going to hold a meeting Monday. They're probably just going to say, hey, we're going to go to 8 conference games, stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel like that they're just rushing to try to get college football back.
No, NFL, the NFL, they'll handle this more differently than college because, these are players on a contract. So it's obviously very different than college. These are players on contracts. They're paid millions a year.
Oh, yeah, they're going to do everything they have to, even if it's like us signing waivers to go to games. And even if it's a 25 capacity, that can go to these games and stuff like that, they're going to find – there will be a will and a way for the NFL.
Yes, and I don't know if I'd go to a game or not. I don't know if a lot of people would, because there's obviously some people who are just like, I'd go to a football game, I don't care about the virus. There are those people, but then obviously you got to think there's just so much going on right now. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think that NFL happens. I wouldn't be shocked if at the beginning they start off with no fans or 25% capacity, and then they try to test the waters with, okay, we'll let some fans in.
Well, I pray to God that there's NFL season. I'm pretty sure there will be, but I just want these Buccaneer fans to be so disappointed.
They will be. They act like we're going to win the Super Bowl. My Tampa, Florida, our home stadium.
So here's my question. I'm not saying that the team is junk, but okay, so you telling me that, or these Buccaneers fans are telling us that, okay, they're going to go to the Super Bowl, they're going to do this, do that. And I know teams out of the blue can go to the Super Bowl when we don't think they can. But, like, how good is Tampa Bay's defense? How good, there's so many question marks. Just because you bring in Tom Brady and maybe another person or two does not mean that, you're going to the Super Bowl.
And Gronkowski.
Yeah, so 2 players, you're telling me that 2 players are going to just change the team?
But how good is that defense actually? We got a good defense. A good defense is one good defensive, good edge rusher, and then maybe one other good player. Well, actually 2. And then who the fuck else do they have? They got Shaq Barrett, Levante David, and Devin White. And those are good players. But other than that, they don't have anything. And
I'm telling you,
about how they're talking about how, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We'll, be winning the we'll win the Super Bowl in our home stadium and be the first ever team to do it. Look, I'm telling you this. There will be a NFC South team in the Super Bowl, but it will not be them, and it will not be the Saints. It will be the Falcons.
But if I'm just saying that if the Saints will probably it's going to be behind us, but I'm pretty sure I'm about confident to go on and say that we're going. I don't know if we'll sweep the Buccaneers, and I think we will, but I know we'll at least beat them at least one time. I
think that the Saints can pull out one versus us. I think the Bucs can pull out one versus us. But look, people, and we'll sweep the Panthers. It isn't even close. We've owned them. We just own the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers no chance. They're terrible.
They got one good player, literally one good player. And then, we're talking about how Tampa fans, they're a bandwagon, and they're going down there, and they're talking about, we'll win the Super Bowl. Okay, so you're telling me that you got a washed-up Tom Brady, a Gronkowski who hasn't played in a year, and that's it, and you're going to win a Super Bowl.
It's so laughable.
The reason why I say they'll go 8-8 is because look at last year's Browns. Look at the 2011 Eagles. Look at those teams. What have they done?
Not squat.
And then the Saints love acting like we'll go to the Super Bowl. Y'all choked in the playoffs 3 straight years, and then y'all are over here still acting like you'll go to the Super Bowl.
Who's this? Is this named Marcus, the Buccaneer fan that yells and is so irate?
Oh yeah, that bandwagon, that
the Gator fan
shit about the team.
Does he even make videos? Like, what? Who's this guy?
Honestly, I don't know. All I know is he's a Buccaneers bandwagon. Was probably a Patriots fan before March, and yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know about this guy. Like, I was trying to wrap my arms around him and everything the other day, like, trying to figure him out. And he was just sounding all like Uncle Lou, and everything else. And I'm like, who in the heck is this guy? Like, literally. And then he's, like, trying to trash talk with you and stuff like that. And then he runs off when Slitta got all over him. And, and he's nowhere to be found.
And listen, first off, I don't need Sleater to help me fight my battles. I think that is obvious. The other thing is this. The bandwagon Bucs fans love acting like they're all tough and stuff. When yet they know when the Bucs are probably they will be in Kansas City or Baltimore before the end of the season. They won't be in Tampa, but maybe the first 7 weeks if fans are allowed in the stadiums. And then after probably week 9, when they get exposed once and for all, and they're probably like 3-5 or something, then they'll head right on to Kansas City, and we'll see the real result. No Bucs fans.
Oh yeah, they're gonna run away because they're all on the Tom Brady train, thinking he's the real McCoy and he's gonna do this and do that. And then next, when he starts losing and they have all kinds of problems, they're gonna be nowhere to be found.
Well, they'll be in Kansas City.
Who's their first game? Do you know?
It's at the Saints.
In my opinion, that's a loss already.
It's a loss, and now here's the thing: they're both two teams that. Now, I wouldn't honestly be shocked if Tampa did win that game, because of the fact that the Saints always seem to struggle early in the season. But I may honestly give that game to the Saints. They face the Panthers at home week 2. I think that they can maybe squeeze that one out. And then after that, I don't know the schedule. But look, we'll at least beat them once. They might beat us once. They may pull one out once. But look, they're not going to sweep us. And look, honestly, I would be shocked if any of those bandwagons are still there come time that we play them.
Oh, yeah. they'll start fading away pretty quickly.
They'll,
I'm just
they'll
wondering if this guy's still going to be around. This Marcus guy. I wonder if he's still going to be around at the end of the year,
he'll be a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
or whoever wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and now the thing with the Patrick Mahomes deal is, I get it. He's Patrick Mahomes. He's basically the Michael Jordan of the NFL. But how can you give him a 10-year deal for over $45 million each year? I get he is a great talent and all, but look, you can't give someone that type of a deal. I don't care who.
And let's say in 2 or 3 years from now, what if he's a big bust? Now they're stuck with him, or they're going to have to pay him this so much amount of money because they gave him this huge contract. It's utter ridiculous.
Now, I don't think he'll be I think he's won a Super Bowl. I don't think that a talent like him goes away that fast. But look, say he gets injured and he isn't the same. Or say, and God forbid, I don't think Mahomes is the guy to do this. But say, remember the Falcons gave Michael Vick a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
Say what happened with Vick, possibly something like that happens with Mahomes.
Yeah, that's very true. Then what do you do then?
Well, I mean, if say something happens like that where, because apparently Vick, he had to pay lots of the money back to the Falcons. I can't get it through my head, I think that he'll win. I'm going to say this. I think he'll win 2 more Super Bowls. He'll maybe go to 3 more. And he'll probably win 3 more MVPs.
Yeah.
I think that's about fair for him. Or maybe 4 MVPs, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if they're either like the Colts were with Peyton Manning. Like how, with Peyton, they were, they'd make the playoffs and maybe win a game, but then they're out. Or there are some years where they don't make the playoffs because they don't have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Or, the bandwagons will go up to Baltimore, which honestly, I think this year the Ravens are going to win the AFC. And they'll meet
they got a pretty good team.
And they'll meet the Falcons in the Super Bowl and we'll beat them.
Yeah, I was very surprised what happened with Baltimore last year in the playoffs.
They were amazing. And then they got into the playoffs and then they shit the bed.
Yep, to the Titans. Which, who saw that coming? I mean, with the Tennessee Titans being that pretty good with quarterback change. Ryan Tannehill was their quarterback, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I thought Baltimore was going to win. I thought that maybe I wasn't going to say they would blow them out by 30 points, but I thought maybe a good 10-point win. But I was getting closer to the game, and I was like, I would not be shocked if the Titans won. And then they won. But I wasn't expecting them to win that way. I thought maybe they win by a field goal. But it's just, and the thing with the Titans, I think they can be a good team and all. But what if the Titans are a lot like how the Jaguars were a few years ago?
Yeah, they could be. Like I said, if they were.
Same division. Almost the same situation where they had a quarterback that wasn't really good before, and they had a really good running back. They had the Jaguars had an amazing defense. Titans had an acceptable defense. Not top 10, but could be top 10 potentially. But we're pretty acceptable. a promising young team, and then the next 2 years they totally shit the bed, and now look at them, they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so that's what worries me about the Titans. But, I think that, where do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to end up?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I have no clue, to be honest with you.
Honestly, I'm honestly saying this. I don't know if it's going to be Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's Carolina or.
Yeah, Carolina may go after another big quarterback.
Honestly, I would be kind of worried because Carolina does have some pretty decent weapons in McCaffrey, and you got Trevor Lawrence.
Well, personally, regardless of how this season goes for our Falcons, I would like for us to throw all the marbles in the bag. And I'm not trying to be this Matt Ryan hater. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. But I would love for us to maybe somehow get Trevor Lawrence as a backup and just let him learn for a couple of years or whatever it may be. But I would love to get Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I'm just saying I'm trying to find a will and a way to get him to the ATL.
All right. This is the thing. Trevor Lawrence is a great talent. And look, I'm not totally against it. I would like to see Trevor Lawrence, we throw all the marbles in the bag. We said for 2 years. I just don't think we can do it because of Matt Ryan's contract.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was about to say. His contract is the issue. So which I'm fine with Matt Ryan, being our quarterback.
I think Matt Ryan is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and no one realizes it.
We just, in my opinion, I just feel like that. I feel like our defense just needs to get better. So, more pass rushers, more. We need I don't know. We need something. I feel like that we're just so off on our defense, in my opinion, because I feel like Matt Ryan and them are putting up the points. But I feel like a lot of games that we play and we do lose, a lot of it's the defense. Like maybe our corners.
The first half of last year, that was the problem. The first half of last year, we had the Colts game that we could have won if it wasn't for the defense. We had, the Titans game was just awful. We had that Texans game that was an awful game too, but it was mainly because of our defense. So, we could have won that if we had a good defense.
My thing about it is this. How can you have a terrible year the way we did last year and you beat the Super Bowl champs, the 49ers?
That's the Super Bowl champs, the 49ers?
Not the 49ers, sorry. I apologize.
NFC champions.
Yeah, the NFC champions. I apologize. Anyway, I just don't understand how you can end up beating a really good team like that, but yet have a crappy season.
And the Saints, which that's a divisional game, and we exposed the Saints. That 49ers game we won, but I honestly think that 49ers game they were just kind of sleeping on us. We exposed the Saints, and that they like to say we just slept on y'all one game. No, we exposed that team, and then the Vikings exposed them in the playoffs.
Right.
The Saints aren't as good as everyone thinks they are. They struggled to beat us the second time.
Yep. Well, hey, man, I got to run. I apologize. I know every time it's felt like I got to run, but I got to go and eat real fast and do some stuff. But it was nice chatting with you, man.
Yeah, it's nice chatting with you too, but I'll probably end this in a minute because I'm probably going to run and do some stuff also. I probably gotta eat, but it's always nice having you, man. And yeah, rise up. Obviously you're a Georgia fan, I'm an Alabama fan. We'll see.
We'll wait to hate week if we get that far.
Yeah, well, always nice having you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you talking to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're always welcome.
All righty, I appreciate it, man, and you have a good night.
All right, peace out. Well, I guess I'm gonna end it here. Thank y'all for watching. And yeah, that's where it's gonna end. Make sure you like, subscribe. More streams will be coming. And yeah, until next time, make sure go Alabama, chop on, and most of all, rise up.